of an operation. And coming back to what we were just recently talking about, sporting events, a clean room operation is just a little bit like playing in a special kind of a stadium or a special kind of a pavilion. You're working in a special room. And you're members of a very special team. You have been selected to work in this area, to play on this team. And as such, you have certain rules that you have to go by, just as the Jets or the 49ers do. And you're all part of the same team, and it's the responsibility of each member to do his part and play his part of the game and to wear the right kind of gear for this job. Now, the Jets don't go out on the field without their shoulder pads and their helmets and their cleats. Likewise, we have certain types of equipment that we must wear when we go into a clean room. Every man has to do his part to protect Joe Namath so he doesn't get wiped out, smeared, or whatever the terms are they use. He is the sort of the key to that team, and if he gets sacked, then the team doesn't win, and they don't go to the Super Bowl, and they don't win the big jackpot. If each member of our team doesn't do his right job, then our diode, our IC, our cathode, our CRT gets sacked. It ends up in the reject pile instead of in the sales pile, and then we don't get the big payoff in the profit share. So it's a sort of a similar type of thing, and again I'm saying that we have some very definite rules. If you play bridge, you know there are certain rules. If you play pinochle, there are a different set of rules. But whatever game you're playing, you must abide by those rules. And likewise, in a clean room, we again have certain rules and certain regulations that we have to abide by. Do we have enough rope to get up to there? Well, you'll have to play some mental images. A clean room, in our present concept, in the light in which we are speaking of, is a room in which we have a certain air pattern. Either the room itself has what is referred to as a laminar flow air path, or we have benches to work in that have a laminar airflow. And by laminar airflow, we mean that the air is moving horizontally or vertically in a definite pattern. Now, in a room such as this, the air comes in through the ceiling and it swirls around throughout the room. Some of it goes out through the doors, and there are some exhaust vents in the ceiling also. And any particle that's in here tends to swirl around the room and has an opportunity of getting on any one of us or on a chair. It has several passes at it. In the case of a laminar flow room, and you're working in them and you should be somewhat familiar, the air is coming in at one end and is moving across the room and out the other end, or it's coming through the ceiling and down out through a grating on the floor. Or if we have benches, then the bench acts in this same fashion. This picture is rather small, but perhaps you can see the upper view is the conventional room in which the air comes in probably out of ceiling diffusers and goes out through floor type or lower wall exhaust. The air swirls around in throughout the room, over and under the furniture. While in a laminar flow room or bench, the air comes in on one side and goes horizontally across the room or vertically, so that anything that's on the floor stays on the floor and anything that's up high stays up high. And it's traveling out in this direction and we expel it. Now the object of this is to get rid of so-called foreign particles, dirt, anything that isn't wanted on our product, in this case, is an undesirable foreign material or foreign particle. Just as in your garden, if you're growing lettuce and you got petunias coming up, the petunias are a weed. If you have a petunia patch and you get lettuce, the lettuce is a weed. So it's something that you don't want to have in that particular area. And so we're all talking the same language. We use the term micron. You're familiar with micron, and we use the term mil around Tektronix a great deal. A micron is one millionth of a meter. You know, a meter is a yard long, roughly 39 inches long. Or we can say that a micron is 40 millionths of an inch, 0.04 mils, 0.04 thousandths, or 40 microinches, or millionths of an inch. Or 1 mil, 1/1000th of an inch, is 25 microns. And to put this into a little bit of perspective, the average human hair is roughly 3 to 4 mils in diameter. If you take a mic and mic your own hair, you'll find it someplace between 2.8